Ladies and gentlemen, Violet Games here. Today I bring you the Doppelganger build. Possibly one of my favorite ass-beating builds within Dishonored 2. Now before I start with this video, I want you to know that all my builds are optimized for very hard difficulty, as well as they gonna have all the shit in them. Basically what I'm trying to say is I have not mentioned some things as far as Mastercraft upgrades in my first build video, and I'm gonna be mentioning it in this one. This video is gonna be like fucking awesome. So without further ado, I'd like to get started. Starting with what the Doppelganger build is actually going to allow you to do. The Doppelganger build is possibly the most optimized open combat build for Emily Kaldwin in Dishonored 2. It allows you to tear through even the toughest of enemy mobs in the game, all while maintaining a great crowd control and an aggressive playstyle. You're going to be beating all them asses. You're not going to need to crouch walk once if you don't really want to, unless to get into small crawl spaces. I guess at that point you need to crouch walk, faggot. But outside of combat, inside of combat, you never really need to utilize stealth at all. You just need to summon your doppelgangers, and they're going to help you finish off enemies. Doppelgangers can completely remove the focus from you in combat, and if that happens and your enemy fully focuses a doppelganger, you can even get an instant kill, which I do display from time to time during the gameplay. And doppelgangers have multiple utilities that really cover all the grounds of if they get ganked, are they still effective? Yes. You know, I'm just going to get into it in the ability section. So let's talk about the necessary abilities in order to play this build to its most optimized state. I did not do this in my Let's Play when I originally played with this skill, but I am going to be doing it in this video. So first off, we're going to want to grab reflexes. This is absolutely a necessary skill to pick up early in the game, strictly due to the fact that Reflexes 1 gives you the ability to basically deflect bullets and projectiles. Bullets and projectiles are going to be the most lethal thing in open combat in Dishonored 2, because early on in the game, as soon as you get your powers, in fact, enemies get guns that can track you ridiculously easy. They don't miss that often, so having this ability is absolutely necessary so that you can definitely reflect bullets and not die. So we're going to be picking up reflexes with our first rune. Next runes we're going to allocate are going to be 8 runes into the Doppelganger skill. We're going to pick up the first rank of Doppelganger so we can summon a shade of ourselves. We're going to be picking up Deadly Shade so that shade can enter combat, basically making her lethal. And then finally we're going to get Baffling Shade. Now we are going to pick up Twin Shades, but not until later on in the game, strictly due to the fact that you do not need to summon 2 doppelgangers until you meet some of the larger mobs in the game. It's just not necessary. I've experimented with it, and I've ultimately determined that having Twin Shades early on just doesn't make any sense. So why do we get Baffling Shade over Twin Shades, especially? Well, we get Baffling Shade because what happens is if your doppelganger somehow fails, like the AI just decides not to attack for some reason or they get ganked, a giant cloud of smoke's going to come out from underneath them and basically allow you to get more instant kills. Basically, what that means is your doppelganger is effective no matter what happens to it during combat. And the one give and take with Doppelganger when you summon the single shade is that sometimes they're amazing in combat and sometimes they're absolutely terrible, but Baffling Shade definitely closes the gap. I just wanted to explain my reasoning for why I picked up Baffling Shade, because on paper, Baffling Shade does not sound like an ability you would want at all for a lethal Doppelganger build. But later in my Let's Play, I figured out how fucking foolish I was to not pick up this ability. So moving on, your next 4 runes are going to be put into the Agility enhancement. You're going to want to pick up Agility and Rapid Sprint. Basically, you're only getting this really for Rapid Sprint, but it's very convenient to have a double jump in Dishonored 2 for platforming reasons and getting to certain bone charms and comboing it with Far Reach so you can get to higher vantage points. It's just really, really nice. Also with Rapid Sprint, you're going to be able to enter combat sooner, and you're going to be able to ground glide. Motherfucker. Every goddamn day. This fucking car alarm, I swear to God. Anyways.
Leave that in your video, dude, just so people understand.
You guys don't get the struggle, okay? Motherfuck.
This is why we can't have nice things.
So yes, you're going to be able to ground glide into combat and actually get an instant kill. This is something one of my roommates did not pick up on when he was playing through the game, is that you could ground glide into an instant kill. It's actually really effective, and I didn't even realize it early on in the game because they never fucking explain it. So now you know. So you're going to spend your next 4 runes into Bone Charm crafting, and you're only going to pick up Bone Charm crafting's base rank, and then you're going to pick up trait synergy. This is going to allow you to craft the best Bone Charms in the game. You're also going to save scum preemptively so that you get the effect you want without getting a crippling effect like you take damage upon drop assassinations. Just some Bone Charms that I like to use and that I think are really great. For Corrupt Bone Charm, I definitely recommend Zephyr, I think it's pronounced. Basically allows you to move faster, but you take more damage. And then I like to have Leech Cuts as one of my Black Bone Charms because you get more health upon killing an enemy. But as far as other Bone Charms, I like Falling Star, so I get more mana when I do drop assassinations. I like Enduring Allies and Resilient Allies, strictly because both of those Bone Charms increase the effectiveness of your doppelgangers in a meaningful way, rather than, you know, some bullshit way, which a lot of the other ones do. Then I like to get Ground Glider. Ground Glider, and I like to upgrade it 4 times, of course. You know, all of the utility Bone Charms you technically upgrade 4 times. Because, you know, why wouldn't you? And I also like to combo Whirlwind with Power Slash. This makes your sword swings do a fuck ton more damage, but also maintain a reasonable sword swing speed. And what else? Oh yes, Bird of Prey, so that when you do drop assassinations, you get even more health from killing an enemy. So basically, you almost never have to use health potions at all in the game. It's pretty ridiculous. And another fun fact, when you get things like Bird of Prey, Leech Cuts, and Falling Star, you can actually summon a doppelganger into combat, or not even into combat, outside of combat, and you can just feed off of them and get your health back, or restore all of your mana. I don't know why they didn't see this coming, like, as a player, not seeing you abuse that, like, mechanic, but you absolutely can, and it's kind of hilariously overpowered, and, you know, it's up to you whether or not you want to utilize that, but I did do it when I didn't want to use my mana potion at any given time. Flip the page here. Alright, next 3 runes you're going to want to allocate into your doppelganger skill. Again, you're going to be picking up Twin Shades. At this point in the game, you're going to be facing some of the tougher mobs, and having 2 doppelgangers is absolutely necessary and can definitely turn the tide in any fight. So pick that shit up. Next up, we're going to go back into our Reflexes skill, and we're going to pick up Superior Deflection and Adept Parry. This is going to cost an additional 3 runes, but what this is going to do for you is when you yourself are fighting, you are way more effective in combat. Because when you deflect a bullet, it has a chance to hit an enemy, and if it hits them in the right spot, you can go in for the instant kill. Additionally, with Adept Parry, it only costing 1 rune, it's actually one of the most effective, like, perks in the game as far as sword fighting, because the parry window is increased astronomically large. Like, you'll see in some of the footage, I get parries I honestly don't fucking deserve because of how effective this skill is. Moving on, you're going to throw 1 rune back into your agility stat line and pick up the remaining ability, Catfall. Now, I used to write off Catfall as not being so useful. God, was I wrong. Catfall is absolutely amazing for fucking around, running around, double jumping, seeing what you can do in the game, just kind of for fun, really. And it really is a safety net. Like, if you fuck up a far reach, which is much easier to do because unlike Corvo's Blink, when you jump down with the upgraded version, it only slows down time. So, far reach is far less forgiving, no pun intended, but you have a safety net, which is called Catfall. And it allows you to, if you do a drop assassination and miss like a dumbass, you're going to be able to recover from that without dying. And for the final late game perks, I recommend just tossing 8 runes into all far reach upgrades. This is going to allow you to platform more effectively, because when you are falling, it's going to slow down time for you, so you can kind of pinpoint the spot you want to far reach to. You can combo this with your agility ability, so you can sprint up to something, double jump, and as you're falling, click far reach, and then pick your spot. Cool shit. And I also need to mention this, we do have New Game Plus mode now, and at the end of the game, right before you make your final decision, I'm not going to spoil it, right before you make your final decision, make sure you pick up all ranks of your Bone Charm crafting perk all the way down to Rune crafting. You're going to want to do this so you can actually smash all of your Bone Charms, that's right, at the end of Dishonored, when you've beaten the final boss. You're going to know when this is going to happen. You're going to basically reclaim your throne, air quotes. You're going to want to just break down all of your Bone Charms and then turn them into runes. After this, assign them into enough abilities to where you use every single rune in your inventory. The reason you're going to do this is because in New Game Plus, when you create that file, you're going to have more runes to allocate to your new character. Basically, all abilities that you pick up in the game are going to be transferred into runes for your next playthrough. So make sure that you, again, get all ranks of Bone Charm crafting, all of the secondary skills, all the way up to Rune crafting, which is the last one. You're going to break down all of your Bone Charms, including the ones that your character is currently using. And then you're going to turn them into runes so that you can allocate them to any perk. It doesn't matter what perk, just make sure that you do the math right and use every single rune in your inventory. Don't leave one rune unspent. This is going to make you ridiculously overpowered in New Game Plus, and my god, is it fun. Jesus, like literally, guys, I don't know why this wasn't in the game in the first place. It is ludicrously fun. So before I go off on a side tangent, let's move on to resources. As far as resources go in the game, you're going to want to get all of the pistol upgrades. You can get this early on, and the pistol is a very, very cheesy motherfucking combat ability. It's just ridiculous. It's just beautiful. And make sure you get all of the pistol upgrades and neglect to get the magazine upgrade till later. Early on, you're going to want things like accuracy, magazine size. All of these are the effective pistol upgrades. Magazine sizes are, reload speed is absolutely pointless, but you're going to get it later to get the Mastercraft upgrade. The next utility you're going to want to upgrade as far as your equipment and resources are your spring razors. Get the capacity upgrade. Get the amount of spring razors per usage upgrade. Like, all the spring razor upgrades are really, really good. And my god, guys, spring razors tear through everything in the game. I don't know why they put spring razors back in the game, simply due to the fact that they're ridiculously overpowered. You can have a bunch of them at once. Like, there's no negative to spring razors, guys. You can just, if you want to be a bitch and throw a spring razor on the ground during a giant mob fight because you're too stressed out to deal with this shit, and you just got home from work and you're like, I'm too flustered, you can just throw this bitch on the ground and kill everyone. It's that ridiculous, and I don't know why they even have upgrades for this fucking monster of a little pocket utility. It's just absolutely, like, pants on head retarded how good spring razors are. So, what about consumables? Are we going to be picking up any consumables in the game? Basically, you're going to get Atomizer Solution as needed. Honestly, if you siphon your mana properly, you're not ever going to need to buy it. But get it as needed. There's no reason why you shouldn't. And also get spring razors, because those become scarce at certain points in the game. And if you work with the black market shopkeeper in, I can't remember what it is, the Conservatory District, I think. In the Conservatory District, if you do the side quests for the black market guy there, you get them at a discounted price. And if you're a total bitch and don't like Clockwork Soldiers, spring razors can instantly kill Clockwork Soldiers once they are upgraded. It's fucking disgusting. It completely invalidates certain things in the game. Again, I'm trying not to get off to a side tangent. Let's just move on. And finally, we're going to talk about master upgrades. I neglected to do this in my last video. I covered one of them, but I didn't cover all of them. So this time, I'm going to cover all of them for you, just in case if you don't understand how these work. So first up, we're going to get a master upgrade for our pistol called the Insistent Gentleman. The other one causes burst fire, which is absolutely fucking pointless, given the fact that enemies die with 2 gunshots anyways. Literally, it's just making you waste an additional bullet. I don't know why it's even in the fucking game. It's so useless. It makes no sense why you would get this upgrade, but it's there. So definitely get the Insistent Gentleman over the other one. I can't even remember its name. That's how fucking useless it is. For our sword, we're going to want to get the Occult Kiss. This is going to give it a nice white finish to the handle and blade. And it's also going to allow you to absolutely shit on witch enemies in the game. Like, we're talking 2 to 3 swings per kill. In the final act of the game, there are a ton of witches to fight. So you're going to want to get the Occult Kiss over the Monkey Wrench sword upgrade. The Monkey Wrench sword upgrade is absolutely fucking pointless because Clockwork Soldiers are going to absolutely fall to your pistol. You're going to tear through Clockwork Soldiers with your pistol. And if I don't show that off in this video, then I'm a fucking retard. But my god, you are just the apocalypse to the Clockwork Soldiers. Why would you ever pick Monkey Wrench over Occult Kiss? Especially because the Witch AI is so much more intelligent than any other AI in the game, and they have a lot more utilities. Honestly, if they would have given the witches pistols, they would be a nightmare to deal with in certain combat situations. And the last master upgrade worth referencing is going to be to your outfit. You're going to get the Collector's Carapace, which is going to allow you to sustain more damage. And it also kind of negates the Zephyr rune if you manage to get that. And I definitely recommend you get that because you move like a fucking motorcycle. It's absolutely beautiful and ridiculous, and I love it. Anyways, guys, that's all I really have to say for the Doppelganger build. I hope you enjoyed the video and the car alarms and the nonsense. Yeah. I told you basically everything. That's it. I have no more notes. Well, actually, I do have an additional note. I have to go to work at 6:15, but you didn't need to know that. But now you do. Thanks for watching. Bye.